Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope that you are all great. In today's video, we will be talking about the secret behind self-esteem and self-confidence. Also, why it is critical for children to master this skill, and I will share some ideas with you on how can you help your child build up this skill. So let's begin by understanding what is the secret behind self-esteem and self-confidence. Actually, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with any of these phrases? I'm so dumb. No one likes me. I look awful. I'm such a loser. Others are better than me. No one wants to be friends with me. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. Have you ever heard your child saying any of these sentences? Or have you ever caught yourself saying these things to yourself? If you did so, then it is totally normal. We all talk to ourselves, adults, kids, and this is called self-talk. What exactly it is self-talk? Well, self-talk refers to what we say to ourselves, both verbally, out loud, and through our thoughts. Whether we are conscious of it or not, most of us are always thinking about something and talking to ourselves. Every day, every hour, every minute, we are saying something to ourselves that is either going to build us up or tear us down. And most of the time, we are not even aware of the messages that we send. Self-talk is the secret behind self-esteem and self-confidence. Self-talk, it is one of the most powerful influences on our emotions, on our mood, our self-esteem, our self-confidence, our actions, and then therefore the results we create. There are two types of self-talk. It is positive self-talk and negative self-talk. But today we are going to focus on the negative self-talk. Negative self-talk includes statements, observations, and judgments that create negative feelings. Feelings that it keeps us away from achieving the things that we will love to achieve, the things that we will love to do, our goals. Negative self-talk creates self-doubt, and self-doubt destroys self-esteem and self-confidence. Negative self-talk includes statements such as, I can't, I'm going to fail, they won't like it, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, no one wants to be friend with me. Can you see how these statements creates this self-doubt? Negative self-talk, it is an internal insulter that is telling us that we are not good enough, we are not smart enough, we are not worth it. Negative self-talk, it is an inner voice that is limiting us, that is stops us, that it keeps us in our comfort zone, that it keeps us in our comfort zone so that we can't reach our fullest potential. Negative self-talk, it is like a bully that it's making us feel not good enough, less worth it, not smart enough, and so on. Self-talk, it is one of the strongest indicators of a personal level of self-esteem and self-confidence. Now, have you ever wondered from where does this negative self-talk come from? Why do we get negative self-talk? Why do children get negative self-talk? Well, let me share with you some of the possible reasons why we get into negative self-talk, why kids get into negative self-talk. It could be because of the irrational beliefs about ourselves or the world. It could be because of the habit of being overly critical. Pessimism, which can force us to expect the worst. poor past experiences. So, for example, for a child, it could be if the child was bullied, maybe he created beliefs about himself. He start to have this negative self-talk because of what happened to him. Fear, anxiety, worries, depression, and different kind of psychological problems can promote this negative thinking. And self-esteem, self-confidence are destroyed by the negative self-talk, destroyed by the incorrect interpretations of the events, limiting beliefs about oneself, and incorrect thinking patterns. Now, the good news is that children can learn how to develop positive self-talk, how to stop their negative self-talk, and you can help. But before to share with you the things that you can do, how you can help your child develop positive self-talk, let's see why it is so important, why it is critical for children to master this skill, why self-talk it is so important. Well, self-talk it is very important because what we tell ourselves impacts how we behave. How we behave impacts how we are treated. How we are treated impacts what we tell ourselves. Positive self-talk it is important because what we say to ourselves it is more important than what anyone else says to us. Using positive supporting self-talk it is one of the most powerful skill for developing soaring self-esteem and powerful self-confidence, because the thoughts and the words we express to ourselves program both our conscious mind and our subconscious mind to create what we say. Self-talk it is extremely important because it's helping us to heal, to improve confidence, and it helps us to be more happier. Teaching positive self-talk is no-brainer if we want our children to live long, happy lives and to improve their chances of having strong mental health. The way children talk to themselves can either motivate them, empower them, or disempower them, make them feel fear, and never do the things that they would love to do. The words they are using can either encourage them, help them to become more confident, more resilient, more happy, fearless, or can make them feel fear, have negative thinking, become more anxious. And because of this, they will never reach their fullest potential. They will never be successful, and they won't have a happy childhood. Now, the best time to teach kids about positive self-talk, it is when you hear your child using negative self-talk, such as, I can't do it, no one is going to like it, I will fail. Or another time when you can teach positive self-talk to children is when they are comparing themselves to other kids, but they are comparing in a way that they see themselves less than others, when they are putting themselves down, or when they are wishing they were different. Now, let's see what are the things that you can do to help your child be more positive. The first thing that you need to do when you hear your child using negative self-talk is to acknowledge the feeling and not the words. See those negative thoughts, words for what they are. When a child says that he's stupid, is dumb, is worthless, it is natural for us parents to feel pain, find difficult in hearing the child using these words. The frustration that the child is feeling can be very hurtful to us parents. But for this reason, it is important that in those moments when the child expresses these negative thoughts, these negative words, to remove ourselves from the emotions that the child is expressing, and listen to what he's really saying. I know it's not easy, but to get to the root of the emotion, then we need to evaluate the situation with empathy. We need to find out what the child is feeling, identify what exactly is bothering them. And we can do this only by empathizing and listening. The second idea is that when kids constantly say negative things about themselves, to keep an eye on when this is happening. Chances are that they are frustrated, stressed, or anxious about something that they are struggling with. Finding out what that is, it can help you find ways to help. So keep an eye when the child engages in negative self-talk, in critical self-talk. Take time, a few days, and notice what triggers the child. And take note. Take note of what you are hearing, what you are seeing. And then after a few days of investigating, ask your child questions and gently challenge the negative comments. But before to ask the questions, prepare yourself, because the child might not answer you right away. But it's still important to start the conversation. And here are some questions that you can ask. I'm curious, John, what makes you say that about yourself? Did something happen during school, at the party, at the park today that made you feel negative? Or does anyone you know feel the same way you do? And the last question, what would need to change about the issue for you to feel differently? Another thing that you can do is to teach children that negative self-talk, it is a choice. We need to teach our kids that harmful words, negative thoughts, whether they are coming from the inside or from the outside, they have power only when we choose to give it them power. In one of the sessions I do with children in my Confident Child program, they are learning that negative self-talk, it is a choice, and that we all have this amazing power, the power of choosing. To help children understand these things, I share a story called Choosing Your Own Best Friend Forever. And the story teaches children that positive self-talk, it is a choice, how to use the power of positive self-talk and become their own best friend forever. The session helps children to learn how to be more positive, less critical, learn how to stop and shift those negative thoughts, and learn how to become their own best friend forever. The session teaches children how to stop being continually critical on themselves and using this negative self-talk that can increase to anxiety. Also, in this session, children learn how to stop the negative self-talk, which is making them feel and think that they aren't worth it, that they aren't capable of doing things right. If you would like your child to learn the same things, just write interested in the comment box and I will contact you. Another thing that you can do is to practice a technique called thought stopping. So, if your child is getting in a negative loop of self-critical talk, you can help by practicing the thought stopping. So, teach children that when they notice that they are talking negatively to themselves, to stop and say, "Oh, I'm doing it again." And I'm going to stop. I'm not going to give that situation any more attention. Another thing that you can do is to model realistic and positive self-talk. Practice what you preach and try to avoid saying self-critical things about yourself, especially in front of children. Do the opposite. Allow your child to hear you using positive self-talk about yourself. And it doesn't have to be something very wow. It could be something very simple. For example, "Wow, I did a great job today at work." Or, "I look fabulous in this dress, in this outfit." Or, "I made a great dinner tonight." So model a positive self-talk. So this way children can repeat. Another thing that you can do is to teach your child the power of what they tell themselves. Kids don't often realize that how we talk to ourselves has power. And not just kids, even us grown-ups don't realize this thing. What we tell ourselves creates our world. So ask your child, would you talk to your best friend that way? Or would you talk to me that way? And then ask why it is okay to talk to yourself that way. Some kids might not realize the amount of the negative self-talk that they are doing. And to help them be aware, to realize the amount of the negative things that they are saying to themselves, you can do an exercise. Ask them that for one day to pay attention to their negative inner dialogue. Ask them to count every time they make a negative comment to themselves. And at the end of the day, see how many points they have. Then the next day, have them to do the same thing, but the opposite. Ask them to pay attention to how many positive comments they make to themselves and see how many points did they get. Again, if you would like your child to become more positive, less critical, learn how to stop and shift negative thoughts, and learn how to become his own best friend forever. If you would like your child learn how to stop continually being critical on themselves and using negative self-talk that can lead to increased anxiety. If you would like your child's self-esteem and self-confidence to not be affected. If you would like your child happiness and success in life to not be affected because of this critical negative self-talk, and learn how to stop the negative self-talk which is making them feel that they are not worth it, they are not capable, they are incapable of doing things right, then write interested in the comment box and I will get in touch with you. I hope this idea will help you. I hope you enjoyed them. And don't forget, if you need support, if you need my help, just write interested in the comment box. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.